Hey there ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this demo of the Kestrel Cruiser in Starfield. So what we're going to do today is go through how to put the ship together and what it looks on the inside. So starting with the latter there, this is how it looks on the inside. So we go up the hatch and we're straight into a 2x1 control station. This controls access to the entry ramp and to the upper level. And then flanking off to the port side, we have an infirmary, which is also a 2x1 section, where you can find a research lab, pharmaceuticals bench, and a barrett sometimes. And then in the starboard wing, we have a crew quarters area with chairs, benches, beds, and a cooking station as well. And sometimes you'll find Sarah just sitting there, just staring at the wall. Heading back through the control station, and now we'll just quickly head up the ladder here. That takes us into our 2x1 workshop with 3 workbenches for materials, spacesuit, and weapons. And aft of that is the 3x1 engineering section of the ship, which could be switched out into anything you actually wanted to have. And also in here, as you can see, there is a ladder up to the docking hatch, which is a slim fitting on the top. And then heading back through the workshop, we'll go into the Stroud-Eklund bridge, which has a pilot seat and 4 other control seats. And it's pretty nice. Off to the left you've got the captain's safe, which means that on the right hand side you've got access to the cargo hold. The view is okay from this cockpit. There's a lot of structural support that's in the way. You can't really look up, but your left to right field of vision, it could be worse. Right now, so we'll head up into space and we'll do a quick demo flight and weapons check. It does look good. So this is the view you get when you're in space, and it's a pretty agile ship. With engines on full power, it will do 140 meters a second, and when boosting it can achieve over 500. The weapons it has at the minute are just in place to show and match the actual Kestrel Cruiser from FTL. Obviously it can have a lot more in weaponry, which is something I leave to you lot to do. You know, you can go nuts with 4 lasers, loads of missiles. You know, this cockpit has many attachment points for weapons. It's really good. So as you can see, they're just hitting 139, 140. And yeah, it's for the way I've built it, it's nice and agile. It's not going to let you down. And it still has plenty of cargo, even in this state. So the current weapons equipped are a Dragon laser and the Atlatl 6 volley missile launcher. So as you can see, the missiles, you'll get 6 shots before you have to reload, which is nice rather than 1 at a time. Although if you put more power in, obviously it will reload the missile rack much quicker. With 1 power, the laser DPS isn't great, but stick it up to 3 and it's a fair amount of pew pew bang bang. So once you get a few more of those with a bigger reactor on there as well to power them, you'll be laughing. So taking a look at the specific layers of the ship. The ship comes in 3 distinct layers, so first we'll look at the bottom layer. The ship is comprised mostly of Stroud-Eklund parts, about 90% of Stroud-Eklund. The rest are a few Deimos parts and some Nova parts. The landing gear are 4 Accu Lander 11 landing gear, so not too many, which is nice. Some ships is absolutely plastered. And we've got a nice big cargo hold nestled in the bottom center of the ship. Though the cargo hold attachment is actually from above, not to the sides. There are 4 bracers in the bottom, which means you can actually change quite a lot of the interior of the ship without changing the outside look, in case you wanted to upgrade to bigger reactors or grav drives or helium storage tanks. So looking at the midsection now, you can see we've got the 3 major quarters in there. So you got the Deimos control station with the infirmary and the crew quarters. And then aft of the control station, you've got the reactor, the grav drive, and a shielded cargo container. So the main engines for the shape of the design are Nova 1000s. And to get the shaping of the nacelles, I've used the Stroud Cowling 1B. Port and starboard side, mostly because they allow this colorable stripe, which more matches the Kestrel itself. In front of the White Dwarf 3000 engines, you can see I've got engine braces, which could be removed in order to install longer, bigger engines, if you so desired, or if you don't like the original engines in there. So I've tried to leave in as much customization potential as possible so you can still keep the overall shape without compromising. So, you know, there's plenty of internal space for adding either more cargo, more power, bigger reactors. So you can do what you want with it, really. Onto the uppermost section, you come up into the tail workshop, which behind it has the 3x1 engineering section. And this leaves a good set of spinal mounts for various bits of equipment. So you can have the docker or the shield module wherever you want along the top of the ship, as well as any weapon mounts you wanted to put up there as well. And again, flanking the central section are just Stroud Eklund parts, the various cowlings. So you've got 2 Type A's and the Type B working from front to back. Okay, and moving on to the actual construction, we'll start with the landing bay section, and then we'll attach a landing gear to the back of that, the Stroud caps to either side, and then the mid bracers working our way backwards, and the whole ship is symmetrical, which makes things easier. And you've got the starboard, forward and aft, just reversed pieces, and then on the outside of the bracers you've got another set which matches, and then through the center another landing gear, and then matching the other side. Can't put the cargo container in place yet because it actually attaches from above. Moving on to the next section, we're going to put the Nova engines in, and you can see we've still got a connection point above where we're looking, as we'll show with a camera twist now. And then we're adding in the Deimos control station overlapping with the landing bay. The helium tank goes in front of that. I moved the braking engine section there a bit prematurely, it's still in the way. Next, the reactor, which now allows us to connect the cargo container. And then we can attach the grav drive, the shielded cargo, and the engine braces. We can then put the White Dwarf engines in place as well, followed by the Stroud cowlings just to form the outer edges of the ship, and everything lines up to make it nice and easy. So now the Nova Galactic cowling sort of brings the nacelles in towards the main spine of the ship, and it's mirrored on, of course, on the other side to keep it nice and symmetrical. And now for the top layer, you have the tail astroneering workshop, which connects to the cockpit. So shift that out of the way, put the braking thruster in there, and then you've got the horizon weapon mounts on either side of the bridge. And then, I mean, they can go anywhere, as I've said, but you can just put the shield generator and the Stroud engineering bay on there, and then the docking hatch. You then need to put on, as you can see, you can't attach that yet. You need to put on the Stroud cowling on either side before you can attach the Nova cowling. Just a few more pieces and slot those in. And the aft Stroud long cowls, they're a great shape. Last few pieces, that, and that last piece is a Deimos cowling aft, and there we have it. That is the ship put together. And overall, the shield stat is inflated by my shield skill, so just be aware of that, as is the reactor power value. It will also vary dependent on your crew as well. We've got good cargo space and shielded cargo capacity. Good fuel, it's a good ship overall. And that just about wraps it up for the build, so do let me know down below if you'd enjoyed this guide, and make sure to subscribe for more faster than light and other sci-fi inspired builds, and have a great day.